well, this will be the video or segment after doing the primary run. The baseline for that car was 21 mile an hour, repeated, which is good, consistent. Got some stuff which I guess probably shouldn't show my address. But now, since we have a baseline, I'm not even going to bother trying to make it any faster with the brushed motor. In the end, it's going to end up being 4, 5, 6S brushless anyway, so I'm not going to waste time on that. I'm going to glue the tires. I haven't done that yet. We're going to switch out the motor, tear off all the old electronics, put oil in the rear dampers, and I'm going to play with the front suspension. I think I can flip those uprights and get the front end real low to the ground, if I even have to, but that's kind of the goal for this whole video. I got some goodies come in. This was the first motor I used on the last one. It's just a no-name 30 amp or 35 amp ESC, and this is a goolrc 3650 3900 kV motor. This was good to like 50 mile an hour, around that on last year's car, so we will see what it does. I haven't even painted the body yet, but I'll dig into some of these. Some of these are parts for the car, some of them I have no idea, just stuff I forgot about that I ordered. Oh God. Fishing line for the tires, new hot end for a printer, trash, stainless steel. These are Rustler, I think. One of the tracks is C-hub and spindles, or knuckles, whatever you want to call them. I like these a lot. They're very simple and very easy to make adapters for. So I usually buy a set of these for the car. Whether or not I use them doesn't matter, but at least I have them if I need them. Then blur out that. Rod ends. Whole bag for rod ends. I was having weird issues, and it's probably just the old crappy speed control I had in there right now, where it was like browning out the receiver. So these are just buck boost converters that I can set to, in this case I'm going to set it to 8.4 volts for the high voltage servos. These are just cheaper than buying BECs, and I can set them to whatever I want. Cheapy servo for steering. The one I have is strong, but it's very slow. This is off one of my crawlers. So I don't even know what brand this is. I'm not even attempting to pronounce that. But it claims to be a 0.06 second, 8.4 volt servo. Costs like 14 bucks. Super happy. I think these are bearings. Yep. I was going to see if I can fit ball bearings in the control arms to get rid of some slop. And I have no idea what these are. Okay. If I had to make my own spindles, I saw that the zinc ones for the car seemed to rip the stud out. Looks like it's just press fit. So these are 5mm shoulder bolts that I can print up custom rims and stuff for. These will take the same 5mm bearings that these hubs use and that almost all the bearings on the Tamiyas are. So that's super handy. What are the random garbages here? For making the custom tie rods, these are just long grub screws. I can print out a control arm or a tie rod, send this grub screw in, and then use that to attach the rod end to my printed component. I like doing it that way. Keeps it simple. This is going to be for the transmission. I expect at some point the factory transmission is going to break. It always seems to. So my plan is I'm going to machine up a steel coupling bushing, or whatever you want to call it, that I can put the two cups into, the axle cups, either weld them physically to the axle cups or set screw or pin them so that they're locked, no more differential, just a spool basically. Then I will machine the inside of this to fit over that collar, and it'll just be a belt drive directly from the motor to the output pulley. I'm hoping to get a 3-to-1 or a 2-to-1 reduction on that. That's going to make a lot easier to get to those high RPMs I need, even with bigger wheels. So we'll see. But this won't come till the motor breaks. That's for later. What else? Garbage. Righto. We are back. I was looking for my screwdrivers. I forgot. They're all here. Whoops. I hope we don't need more tools than this. That would be a problem. Alright. This thing was actually surprisingly fun to drive. Compared to the Grasshopper, this is a car in stock form that I would honestly not even just drive, but beat it around, bash on it. I was really pleasantly surprised with it. But, yeah. Got a few ideas for the front. I want to see if these knuckle thingies can be flipped upside down. Because that would do essentially a drop spindle. I don't see why it wouldn't work, but we're going to find out. We're also going to try to get rid of as much of this play as possible. Make it as controllable later on as we can. Nice. I do want to try to use as much of the factory car as possible. I just don't know how much that's going to end up being. That's a problem. Put the receiver too close to the frame. I don't want to. There we go. Whoops. Violence was always the answer on that one. These are the little 2S batteries I use on these for testing. Not great. I was using the gears as spacers because the battery was too small. I'm making a mess already. Let's see. The shocks need to come off. So that's not going to work as I was planning. It's got 2 different size holes that I did not realize for the control arms. Gotta do something with the steering. I guess I'm going to put the steering back together the way it was, front suspension. I'll have to draw something up for later. More than likely what I want, or what I'm hoping to have, is the front with a fairly wide wheelbase, or track width. And it really is just going to be easier to use these knuckles, I think. Which ones are they? Those. Yeah. Let me throw this back together. I am going to shim this the best I can, just to make it a little more rigid. May as well put in the new steering servo. Come on. Those are all not going to work. We are also going to center mount this servo, which means we're going to have to modify the links. This doesn't fit. And I don't feel like soldering on different terminals. Please hold. I'm going to see if I have a different speed control. Well, I wasn't planning on going this big this early, but I know this 80 amp will fit. Or at least fit the connectors. Let's see how she goes in the car. that for mystery oil. Still have to figure out the front shock situation. I don't even know if these have oil. I saw people put these shocks on, or springs on even, diagonally here, between the radius arm and this top. I don't know, these are probably too long. Yeah. There's actually a hole, I should see that there. But maybe it's not. You see, okay, switch some powers, right? And some zero. I gotta get I'm gonna have to get 3 meter. I need what's 2 meter. What is this? Alright, sacrificial connector and some tiny little rod ends. Let's see what happens. Oh, helps with the battery on. It would help if you remember to put the servo or steering in the steering channel on the throttle and the throttle channel. Might also see if I got a slightly bigger battery that fits. This one's a little small. Oh, we do have options. Man, this sucks. I figured one of these disasters would fit. Gotta find a way to keep her in there. I know, I have some styrofoam in the other one. Yes. Need a ruler. Got to figure out tie rods. I think what I'm going to end up doing is printing a little in-between section and either making it so that it can screw together or using more grub screws to put them on. I also need to put washers on this top step. Take on the slide. These are, I guess, 3 millimeter, 4. 140. 4 better. I'm going to put washers. Okay, wait, anytime. I found the threaded rod that I was using last time. I prefer using this really thin stuff for steering. In the event of a crash, this will usually buckle and save a lot of the steering and front suspension. And then I can either bend them back, or when they inevitably break, I can just make another one for super cheap. Got my little box of them. There's one over here. These are the little Milwaukee fastbacks. Love these things. One of the few that have dual units, which I'm a very big fan of. Looks like center to center is about 70. So of course, I don't have anything to cut this with. More garbage. We won't stop until the table is completely covered. Battery died, so now you're on the charger. Didn't miss much. I was just filing the threaded rod, trying to make those tie rods. Does seem like it's going to work. Right now, it's a bit of toe in. I do want toe in, but not nearly that much. Alright, looks like under load, that's going to be close. Next thing is I'm going to shim the bearings so there's very minimal in and out play. I think they're close, but they're not perfect. I also am going to put a zip tie around the spring of the servo saver. This will make it rigid to a point, and when it passes that, ideally the zip tie will break. Still giving it a nice failure point that's not a hard part, but we'll see how that goes. So let me grab some zip ties real quick just to do some wiring tidying. It's not going to be good, but it will be better. I also want to put the body back on and see if it needs any trimming or if we can lower it, which would be huge. Hopefully that'll work, because the less air resistance, the better. It's already quite a bit heavier than I was hoping, but as it goes, I guess. Body time. It didn't fit so great the first time. looks like right off the bat, I can lower about, I don't even gotta tell you about, to be exact, 1/2 inch in the front. I have to print something, like we said about. Start with 1/2 inch. She's going on the floor. Gotta get the computer. All right. That took longer than I expected. I may have fallen asleep. This is a little standoff. I don't know where the aluminum one went, but it's meant to be half the length. We put 2S LiPo setup on it, tested it today, was able to hit 35 miles an hour on 2S. So tomorrow the goal is to throw a 3S battery on it, but in the short amount of testing I did, I managed to flip it like 3 times. Unsurprisingly, being 2-wheel drive under braking, even light braking, it seems that it wants to lock up the tires. So I'm probably gonna do a few things here. One, I have a smaller body. It's gonna look kind of goofy on this, but it's much smaller, so that should reduce the air drag as much as I like the Brat body, and I can mount it much lower on this chassis. Then I want to see how much lower we can get. Excuse me. How much lower we can get the physical chassis. Once it's low, I'm going to start adding some weight to it. I have a bunch of wheel weights to put in, but I wanted to avoid doing that. The extra weight really caused a lot of damage when I crashed last year, so if I can avoid that, I'm going to. So I don't know how far this video is going to go or what's going to happen, but man, we will see where it takes us. This is the body. Just an old cheapy Amazon car that I had laying around, but it does have a small wing on it that I think I can remove and print something much bigger. I'm also partially thinking about putting an active air brake on this, mounted with the throttle. I think I can program this remote so that it only, well, we'll have to see. I don't want it to lay down under acceleration, or maybe I'll have to do that. Lay down under acceleration, I'll make a linkage where it follows the throttle. Could be even a cam. It's round in the forward direction, and then as you hit the brake, it'll come and lift up the wing a little bit. If I can keep the back tires in the ground, I think I can actually keep this thing from rolling, which for me would be huge. I do not feel like rebuilding this that many times. Excuse me, how much lower we can get the physical chassis. Once it's low, I'm going to start adding some weight to it. I have a bunch of wheel weights to put in, but I wanted to avoid doing that. The extra weight really caused a lot of damage when I crashed last year, so if I can avoid that, I'm going to. So I don't know how far this video is going to go or what's going to happen, but man, we will see where it takes us. This is the body. Just an old cheapy Amazon car that I had laying around. But it does have a small wing on it that I think I can remove and print something much bigger. I'm also partially thinking about putting an active air brake on this, mounted with the throttle. I think I can program this remote so that it only, well, we'll have to see. I don't want it to lay down under acceleration, or maybe I'll have to do that. Lay down under acceleration, I'll make a linkage where it follows the throttle. Could be even a cam. It's round in the forward direction, and then as you hit the brake, it'll come and lift up the wing a little bit. If I can keep the back tires in the ground, I think I can actually keep this thing from rolling, which for me would be huge. I do not feel like rebuilding this that many times. Front end is stripped. I think what the goal is, I want to be able to triangulate the control arms in the front pretty well. So I might try to steal some points up here for a front, basically another radius arm. It's going to end up looking kind of like the high angle drift lower control arms. But we'll see. Maybe these are wide enough. I'm going to have to figure out exactly what I want to do. Right now, I'm just winging it. Right. Do that. Really need to get a bigger kind of workstation here. It's the next day. Went through an iteration of the lower control arms. I believe this will work now. I adjusted some of the dimensions of the holes. Just cutting off some of the brim from the printer. Well, many things have happened, but the front is now assembled. More iterations than I would have liked to admit, but how she goes. It's now running those, I think, Bandit C-hubs, or whatever they're called. Going with the garbage body. Setting up some body posts now on the printer. Just gotta see how tall I need this thing. I'm sure that's going to be easy to measure. Something like that. This little shitty body has a fake wing in the back, but I'm hoping I'll be able to use it with some printed parts to make a real wing if I need it. But biggest thing is just much lower and way smaller cross section. I don't know when these tires are going to give out. I imagine fairly soon. So there will be 17mm hub adapters, all corners. I was thinking about running these, but I really need a diameter to get the RPR, the mile an hour up. So I haven't actually run these yet. Real hard. I believe they're belted. They run 17mm hexes, so that'll be on here on all four corners. Hopefully it takes it well. The front's been made wider. I want to say it was about an inch. Don't remember exactly. But yeah, that's roughly where we're at. I've seen some posts online, people already hitting some pretty comical numbers. I think I saw 70 something so far, which is above my PV already, so the open class is going to get nuts. But that is a later problem. Where are the posts? Glad the computer's already screaming. The new battery I'm running, the 3S step up now. We're gonna go from this little baby 2200 2S. Did real good, but this is the only other 3S I have that fits without too much modification. So, good thing is this is gonna move the CG way down. It's a heavy battery. After that we have the 4S. Not as heavy, but it'll work. Same location, roughly the same size. This speed control can only do 4S, so we'll see how far we can push this stock gearing. I haven't seen any issues with differential yet, although I have not really bashed it. I've been real careful about rolling into throttle. I don't want to blow up that diff if I can help it. At least not yet. I'd like to get a couple runs in first. I should probably try to do some math on this guy, because then I know if I'm running out of speed control. These tires, and I'm sure they're going to balloon, but we'll say conservative. Call it 3.25. So, assuming everything goes well, it's 11.1 volts. With a 3900 kV motor. So we should be looking at around 43,000 RPM. That was weird. 43,000 at the motor. We know the gear ratio, as per Tamiya's nonsense, is 6.7 to 1. It says we're going to get 6,500 RPM at the wheel. And the wheels, without ballooning, are 3.25 inches in diameter. So we're looking at a theoretical speed of 63 miles an hour on 3S. Possibly a little faster with the ballooning. Also possibly a little slower because of the motor sag, or RPM sag on the motor. Possibly even very slow if I crash it and it splits in half. Landed. Broken, but landed. Alright, found a road. I'll show you guys what I'm running. Mostly printed suspension. It's Rocket something from Surpass RC, 3650 with a 4700 kV. The ESC is 80 amp, just no name, from Amazon. And I'll have to take the battery out after the run, but it's a Huvo 5200 3S. Yeah. Oh, make sure this connects so you guys can see. Start. Stop. Read. Start. Okay. To start. We'll keep going. If we can go full throttle, I also brought a 4S battery. Definitely faster, but we'll see. $61. If I break 68, I'll probably take the hat off and actually show you guys a good view. I think the larger front wing and I think one of the issues with those ESCs is Oh, slower. Doesn't like to find its home. $63. All right. Make sure you guys can see that. I'm going to go one more all in, and then we're going to swap batteries to the 4S. Flipping, spinning out. Not that this wing is very substantial, so stop. Yeah, we're tapped. 63. Take a screenshot. And I will take the battery up, show you guys what it was running, but I have a bigger battery to put in. Alright. Alright. Battery is hot. Motor is very hot. Wow. Oh, poke this. Huvo, or however you say that, 5200 3S 60C. This guy's been my workhorse. But yeah, now we will duct tape this thing in there. It's already bent from last year. If this works out well, we're going straight to 6S, but that's also going to require a new speed control because this one will not do 6S. Or alrighty. 68. We're making progress. Start. Stop. I don't know what's going on with it right now. It's pissed. It's weird. Oh, there we go. That ain't happy. Start. $60, 65. We'll try again. Yeah. Make sure you guys can see that. 71. I don't want to push my luck, but all right, we're reading. $80 would be sick. Well, The roof sliders did their job. Still, clean 71 is a good start. I'm guessing this was a mix of the rear wing being a little too aggressive and not enough front wing. The front wheels are still spinning. Did we brake? Ooh, should have done that. Sorry, little guy. Kind of exploded the front wing. Something's messed up at the rear, but let's see what kind of speed we hit when we flipped. Yeah, I'll take the repeat. Alright, turn that off. I'll bring it back to the car, show everyone everything again. Should drive. Oh yeah. Ooh. Some weird wobble on that front wheel. Might be my new favorite location. By the airport. Big industrial park. Oh yeah, I definitely broke something. Steering's kind of floppy. Definitely a fun little car. Oh, and I flipped this thing enough time where I put in polycarbonate sliders. Ah, yeah, I can already see the kingpin fell out. I wonder if that's why it flipped. Eh. I think this just got bent. So everything's still the same. I'll cut the battery out of her. I don't know how well you can see that on the camera. Both is my kingpins. That one decided to come out. I think that's why I have the... Yeah. I wonder if that's why it flipped. Kill this before it lights on fire. Get the big boys. I'll do a little bit better of showing you now. So, Ovonic 2200, 4S. Servo is just a cheapy 25 kilogram. Something strong enough to move these big wheels. Motor is still the Surpass RC Rocket 3650 4700 kV, sensorless. Wires are hot, motor's hot. The speed control is buried in there, but it'll say waterproof 4S. It's a cheap, just 80 amp. But cool. Yeah, this will be my first official submission. I look forward to hopefully breaking the 100 mile an hour club. See ya.